Recording has started. So let's present myself. I'm Sophie Scarvelis. I'm the project unit manager at the Intereuromed Joint Secretariat. And we are here today to present you the key features of the 8 call for proposals. Can you all see my screen? Okay. Please, I will ask everybody to mute your microphone, please, in order to have a swift presentation. And then we will, of course, give you the floor for any question you might have. We are almost 700 participants, so it's quite a lot. Thank you for being here in the middle of July. First of all, I would like to stress an important point. It's the first time we are presenting the key features of a call before the publication of the terms of references. So this presentation remains subject to the official approval of the terms of references of this call by the monitoring committee. Indeed, the monitoring committee has only approved the key features presented today. The terms of references are being drafted and they will be approved by the beginning of September. So therefore, take all this information cautiously. Some things may change. For example, we can narrow down the thematic topics proposed, but the overall philosophy and concepts of the call will be the ones presented today. Why we are doing this presentation in advance? Just to give all potential applicants the time to get prepared, as the call will open for quite a short period of time, and as we will ask for mature proposals. So this is first for you to see if the topics of the call are of interest for you or not, and then to start getting prepared. So this 8th call will be the last call of the program for this reporting period 21-27. We will use the remaining budget, meaning the budget not yet engaged during the former calls, and also any savings we have from projects that are ending and have not yet have not consumed all their budget. The call has been developed taking into account different constraints, but also some opportunities occurring at this period. First of all, we will need a short implementation period, maximum 2 years, because we have to finalize all projects by mid-2029. So you will see then at the end of this presentation, the schedule, and you will understand why we are quite in a hurry and everything has to move quite fast. Maximum 2 years of implementation, what it means that we need projects with a limited number of activities that are mature enough for direct implementation and that can have a good consumption rate also, because we won't have the possibility to reuse unconsumed budget at the end of those projects, since we will be at the end of the programming period. One opportunity is that we are that the implementation of this project will occur between the end of the 21-27 period and the beginning of the 28-34 period. So meaning that there can be a bridge between the two periods. One other constraint we had to take into account is what we have done until now with our IT finance projects and the budget commitment rate we had per specific objective, and also the indicators we have already reached by specific objective. So this will explain later on our choices between missions and specific objectives. To make the bridge between the two periods, we took into account the proposal we have received regarding thematic focuses for the future, and we made some choices compared with what we have already done in this period and the current program content. So we based our proposal on the analysis of the program document and the 90 finance projects, and also with an ESPON analysis that have been done for the 28-34 period.
Sorry, but we have no sound since the beginning of the presentation.
Sorry, what?
We have sound, Oliveira. We have it.
We have sound, yes.
We have
Yeah,
sound.
we also
sound.
can hear you.
We have sound.
Well, I have sound, so I have no issue.
Okay.
The sound is good.
The sound is good also for me.
Okay, thank you. I was afraid that I was talking alone for some time. Okay, so I will continue then. Also, we consulted our governance projects on specific on the thematic focus, and we analyzed all ongoing initiative strategies that have happened or have been published this last month. Like the Mediterranean Pact, the revised Mediterranean Strategy for Sustainable Development of the UNEP map, the EU skills agenda, and etc., etc. And also, we looked at the ongoing calls launched simultaneously in the Mediterranean area. So, first, on the analysis of where we stand at on the program implementation. We have now reached 93% of our budget commitments with the 6 first calls. So this means that we will use the remaining 7% plus another programming for the calls 7 and 8. The 7 is the call on sustainable tourism that will be open in September. And we have now 98 projects running or finalized. And you can see here the details by type of project and mission and specific objective. Just for those that do not know well the program, because maybe we have newcomers, the program is organized under 4 thematic missions that you can see here with the different colors. So in blue, innovative sustainable economy, in yellow, natural heritage, in green, green living areas, and in pink, sustainable tourism. And here you can have a clear picture of all thematic projects approved per mission, per call for proposals, and type of project. You can move to the next slide, please. So on the ESPON proposal for future thematic focuses, you will see that the ESPON is proposing the same, let's say, to continue and to consolidate our thematic focus on climate adaptation, environment resilience, green and blue economy, working on integrated sustainability approaches, but also to give greater attention to skills development in green and blue transitions and to citizen engagement and participatory approaches. Next. Also, this comes is totally in adequation with what the public consultation we had launched back at the end of 2024 for the harvesting report, and we have seen that the proposals are quite similar, maybe a little bit more developed, but quite similar. So with the will to work on protecting protected areas and ecosystems, sustainability, water and food security, still encouraging policy convergence as we have done until now, and also working on skills and jobs, but also on innovative strategies for resilience. So, and the citizen engagement is here again. So based on all of this, our proposal, next slide please, is to propose to open this call to test projects of a maximum of 2 million euros per project for a duration of 24 months. We will have a budget for this call. We will propose a budget for this call of about 20 million euros, meaning around 10 projects. And considering that we have already called 7 on sustainable tourism and that 9 other programs or 8 other programs in the Mediterranean are launching a call on sustainable tourism in the framework of the Mediterranean multi-program mechanism in the same period, we decided not to propose for this call the mission sustainable tourism. So only the other 3 missions will be open. Also considering what we have reached in terms of commitment, budget commitment and indicators in the different specific objectives, we propose not to open the specific objective 2.4 on climate change that we have largely used during the 6 first calls. And in order to have projects and to open the mission promoting green living areas, we will add the specific objective 2.7 on nature and biodiversity in this mission. We are drafting one tour with some dedicated sections per mission for the details that concern each mission. Next, so what is this call about? The guiding thread of this call is advancing territorial resilience. This means that project proposals should demonstrate the territorial and institutional ensuring of the proposed activities. So the project should address a clearly identified territorial need and demonstrate a focused intervention logic, a strong partnership capacity, and of course, tangible outputs that can be used, adapted, or transferred beyond the initial pilot context. To maximize the chances of successful implementation and uptake of the results, projects are expected to mobilize actors directly involved in policy implementation and territorial management, ensuring that the partnerships possess the operational competencies, institutional legitimacy, and the technical capacities that are necessary to produce the project outcomes. So having the right players around the table will be crucial, both for the effective pilot implementation and for ensuring that the successful solutions can be sustained or scaled up by those actors afterwards, after the end of the project. Also, the proposal should favor the integration of the results of the results in local and regional policies and contribute to regional convergence and place-based strategies. And much more important, the project should be sufficiently mature to ensure that the results can be effectively translated into policies or practices and integrate prevention measures. So this means that in terms of partnership, we propose to have between 8 to 12 partners, institutional and operational. Smaller partnership will be, I think, ideal as in 2 years of implementation. It can be a burden to have a too big partnership. And of course, those partners should have the direct competence on the field tackled and on policy implementation. They should also be in capacity to implement the pilot activities. That means that either the partner is the owner of the land or facility where the pilot activity will take place, or the partner has already, at the time of the application, an agreement with the land or facility owner. This will be really important in order to be able to start the activities from the first month. Also, what is important to take into consideration is the concrete territorial impact. Those projects are expected to deliver tangible improvements or validated solutions in the territories involved by the project end. This might include new services operational on the ground, new technologies, tools tested in pilot areas, physical improvements, or new protocols and practices being applied. Of course, these outcomes should be measurable and demonstrate how the project intervention have made a difference in the participating region. So the territorial ensuring and the territorial impact are really important. And in order to contribute to the EU skills agenda and to answer to this willingness and to work more on skills, and because we have now operational our Euromed Academy, where trainings can be developed and be operational on the Euromed Academy website, we will ask all projects to develop one training in order to transfer or to make transferable the solutions and strategies and action plans that will be developed. Next, please. So, of course, linking up with existing policies is really important to support the policy coherence and efficiency of the projects and the program as a whole. So the proposal shall be firmly grounded in existing strategies, plans, and or policy priorities at EU or Mediterranean level, but also at national or regional level. So here are, for example, at EU and Mediterranean level, the main policies or strategies or declarations or initiatives that you should take into account and your project should contribute to, like the Mediterranean Pact, the revised Mediterranean Strategy for Sustainable Development, the EU Skills Agenda, the Union for the Mediterranean Ministerial Declaration on Environment, the Union for the Mediterranean Ministerial Declaration on Blue Economy, the EU regulation on nature restoration, the Global Biodiversity Framework, this more for the Natural Heritage Mission, like the Biodiversity Strategy also, and for the Innovative Sustainable Economy Mission in particular, we based our proposal on the SwitchMed program towards zero pollution for air, water, and soil action plan, and the EU Green Agenda. Next, please. Also, of course, the project should be action-oriented and results-driven. So they should prioritize on-the-ground implementation of the pilot activities. This means that they should not be planning or research projects. It's pilot projects, so they should put existing or new solutions into practice to validate and refine them. Of course, you can have some preparatory tasks, but to adapt, for example, a solution to local conditions. But this should be really reduced in time in order to have the bulk of activities that would be around practical testing and demonstration. As we said before, the project will be short. They will last only 24 months. And for this reason, they should be mature enough and ready to start implementation quickly. This means that the project ID should be already well developed and have necessary groundwork done. For example, the pilot site should be already identified. There should be a preliminary design of the solutions. The stakeholders should be already engaged. The equipment that you will need should be already identified. All this should be really ready and mature, and you will have to prove that in your application. You should also have a clear plan for the rollout of the activities, for all the public procurements, the permits, the agreements you will need in order to ensure that results can be delivered within 2 months. So I insist on that. In the evaluation, in the assessment of the proposals, the maturity of the project concept and the feasibility of the timeline will be very important factors. You can develop new solutions, but you can also, if you wish, use existing solutions that have been developed in other contexts and that you wish to expand at Euromed level if this has not been done before. So, for example, as really indicatively, you can use solutions that have been developed in other contexts of the EU mission Restore Our Ocean and Waters, on the mission on climate change or climate neutral and smart cities, etc., etc. But also initiatives that you can be inspired by initiatives of the UNEP map, the UFM, or the strategies, CBASIN or macro-regional strategies like USA and WestMed, or even a solution that have been developed in a cross-border program or at a regional level, for example, and you wish to expand it to the whole Euromed context. And finally, in order on the general key features, what is important is the focused scope. As you will have only 2 years of implementation, it will be important to narrowly define the scope of your project. So typically, you should address a specific issue or challenge within a chosen mission and target a clearly defined territorial context and work on one single general action for the project. Don't develop a lot of things in those 2 years, but be concrete and focused on one main action. I will now, so these are the general features that work for all the project proposals in all the missions. I will give now the floor to my colleagues, project officers in charge of each of the thematic missions of the program, in order to give you details on the scope, the thematic scope of each mission. So we will start with the mission Innovative Sustainable Economy, and with Guillaume and Isabelle. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Isabelle Nobio. I'm project officer at GS in charge of, with my colleague Guillaume, of the Innovative Sustainable Economy. So I will present you the project focus under this mission. Just to remind you that, as it was said before, both objectives, specific objectives under this mission are open. Objective 1.1, uptake of advanced technologies, and objective 2.6, circular economy. Here, the focus is on sustainable and innovative production and consumption practice that will reduce air pollution in the construction sector, or reduce water pollution in the agri-food sector, or reduce plastic pollution as a focus. Under Objective 1.1, we expect innovative activities covering all kinds of innovation, including services, technology, non-driven innovation, organizational patterns, or process innovation. And under Objective 2.6, we expect activities, innovative activities, which will remodel the current linear economy pattern and create pathway towards a circular economy and more sustainable society. Project, as it was reminded before, shall cover well-identified territory, precisely tackle the type of pollution and the sector they will address. It's not an indicative focus, as we expect precise project with a defined focus given the probable high level of competition and consequently low level of success rate, and a clear, very clear contribution to the zero pollution from air, water and soil action plan through measurable impact. In the terms of reference, we will also mention expected kind of solution, but this is a bottom-up process, so it's really up to you to convince us that the indicatively free project that we will select will actually and effectively contribute to the focus that is detailed in this slide. I will pass the floor to my colleague from the Natural Mission Heritage.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Francesca Marcato. I'm in charge of projects under the Natural Heritage Mission, together with my colleague Christoph Meyer. I will present you the topics that are open for this call. The project has to focus on one of these two topics, ecosystem restoration. And here we expect projects that aim at restoring degraded ecosystem through concrete actions on the ground in actions and interventions. What you expect with this call intends to support...
Excuse me, we don't see your screen anymore. At least I don't.
We do.
Yes,
We do?
We do.
Okay.
We do.
Okay.
We do.
We do.
Okay.
I
So,
can...
okay, I see it. Sorry, I see it.
Yeah, please try to write in the chat instead of interrupting the presentations, please. Thank you.
Okay, I can continue. So this call intends to support projects that are implementing in the territories the natural restoration regulations. So we are really linked to the future national restoration plans. It is expected from this call, and projects should reinforce the practical application of the restoration plans and facilitating the coordination between the different instances that are involved in the process. So we really expect projects that demonstrate a clear connection with the ongoing policy process. And of course, the competent authorities should be involved from the beginning, so from the design phase of the projects, especially when projects aim to support restoration planning, monitoring, and implementation. It's important also to consider the ecological connectivity when relevant in implementation of restoration actions. So really to ensure the species movement, habitat continuity, and ecosystem resilience. Another important point here is that restoration actions should not create additional pressure on ecosystem, but should instead be implemented in harmony with nature. So you have to really build on sound scientific knowledge and evidence-based approaches. The other topic is more on biodiversity. So here we expect more projects working on conservation of natural resources, and we expect actions or on monitoring of biodiversity, so more focus on biodiversity collection of data, for example, on species, habitats, really to assess the ecological status of biodiversity, and or action on management, so improvements of existing management plans, improvement of existing governance processes to improve the governance of natural habitats. And finally, also in this case, we expect actions that are aligned with the biodiversity strategies, with conservation priorities and ecosystem plans, existing plans. And also here we the project should be grounded on solid scientific knowledge. This goal is linked to the specific objective 2.7, so on biodiversity conservation. Thank you. I pass the floor to my colleagues.
Thank you, Francesca. Hello, everyone. My name is Judith Piazzas. I'm working on the Green Living Area mission. And with my colleague Agathe Spitz, we're going to present you the focus of the mission for this goal. So as presented, the baseline of this goal is moving towards resilient Mediterranean territories. And the sub-baseline for the Green Living Area mission is the well-being and health. So to do so, we've got two main focus. The first one is under well-being and health. The idea is to promote and see the implementation of a concrete transdisciplinary approach, supporting the identification on territories of new lines of actions, indicators, and partnership that can connect urban resilience, climate adaptation, environment, and public health. We expect some focus on health inequalities on territories and social justice, and the integration of monitoring action and participatory process involving citizens.
So hello everyone, I'm Agathe Spitz, and as Judith said just before, there is also another focus under this mission, which is the urban agriculture and resilient food system. Three approaches that can be cumulative are targeted. So the first one is the development of resilient urban agriculture by designing and implementing multifunctional green infrastructure. The other one is the urban agriculture as a means of promoting social inclusion and neighborhood regeneration through the transformation of spaces and the integration of citizen participation processes. And finally, the last one is developing or improving sustainable territorial food system through integrated governance approaches involving different stakeholders. Thank you very much.
Thank you, colleagues. Two other pieces of information before we start with the questions. First of all, what is important for you to know is that we will change a little bit the application and assessment process this time compared to the previous calls. Meaning that we will have a written application and an oral presentation, and with an assessment of the written application, a pre-selection, and then an assessment of the oral presentation. We won't change the content of what and how we assess the proposals until now, meaning that we will assess this on the same criteria, but it will change between what we ask in the written application and what we will ask and assess in the oral presentation. Nothing will be assessed twice, and we won't ask twice the same thing. It's clear. This means that we will have a simplified written application compared to what we have until now. This means that some questions will not have to be answered by written, but they will be answered in an oral presentation. So all the details will be, of course, in the terms of references. This is just for you to know how it will work in general. So two-step application and assessment with a simplified written application, a pre-selection. Pre-selected projects based on the written application will be invited for an oral presentation, and then we will have the final selection. Next, please. Let's see the schedule now, and you will understand also why we are doing all this at this time. So, as we said before, it's important, all projects should be finalized by mid-2029. So if we have 2 years projects, this means by mid-2027, they need to start. And in order for the project to start in mid-2027, we will open the call by the 1st of October for 1 month until the 2nd of November. And then we will need, so by mid-November until February or March, depending on the number of applications we will receive, for assessing the projects, the written applications. And the oral presentations will be in March or April in order to select the project in April or May and start the project by May or June. We will have a detailed transnational informatics session online scheduled for the moment for the 22 September. Maybe this date will change. It has to be confirmed. It will depend on the exact date of approval of the terms of references by the monitoring committee. Yeah, and that's it, I think, about the calendar. So we will try to answer to your questions. I will come back on the chat and the questions. Of course, as we have also all the networking, which is good to have in the chat. Let's give me some minutes to see the questions. So, okay, I will maybe ask you to focus the networking about the Euromed program and this call, otherwise it will be a mess. We had a question on the recording. Yes, the recording of this seminar will be uploaded on our website together with the PowerPoint presentation. We have a question from Raquel Gonzalo. Are projects related with payment for environmental services schemes eligible under the Natural Heritage Mission? Francesca, can you answer to this question, please? If we have the answer for the moment, because as the terms of references have not yet been approved, we cannot answer to everything.
Yeah, exactly. In principle, could be eligible, but of course, what we assess, it depends, of course, of the whole, the proposal of the project. And what we assess, it's also the restoration action that is behind this, the payment of environmental services. And also, please keep really in mind the impact on natural habitats when you propose something. And also demonstrate really the sustainability of actions, the durability of actions that you propose, and also the take into account also the transnationality of the project that you propose.
Thank you. We have a question from Gabriela Batti. Is it allowed to transfer output from one finished project into several new proposals? This is not a transfer, a call dedicated to transfer projects. It's a call dedicated to test projects. So yes, you can use existing solutions that have been developed, but in order to develop the solution or to adapt the solution to the Euromed context, but it's not just a transfer output. And yeah, we cannot, of course, the use of existing project results can be into several proposals. Let's see if we have okay, there is a long question with a summary of the project. I don't think we have now the time to detail it. Maybe also, you know that you can ask all of our questions through our frequently asked question on our website if it's very specific. Let's try. You are developing a digital and interactive prosperity indicator system specifically designed for decision-making in territorial governance and managing socioeconomic and environmental impacts in destinations, with an applied research phase focused on strengthening local institutional capacity against saturation. Your question is if this should be in call 7 or call 8. If it's on tourism, it's on call 7, but on call 7, it's the call 7 is targeted to transfer projects, meaning that you have to use an output from the database that is published on the website of the call. And we are not on a research project like now, but we are really on test projects. Somebody asked if we can go back to the calendar. So could you please, colleagues, share the calendar once more? Then there is a question from Cristina Coloniari. Should the solutions, tools, or methodologies tested under Call 8 originate from previous Interreg projects, or are mature solutions developed in other EU programs or by the participating organizations also eligible? I think I answered to this question in the presentation. No, it's not a transfer call. So you can develop new solutions or use existing solutions developed in any other context in order to adapt it to the Euromed context. The distribution, there is a question from Lucas Santa Rosa on the distribution of the available 20 million euros among the missions and specific objectives. There is, for the moment, we don't have decided about a specific amount per mission. So it's at the level of the call, 20 million euros for the best noted projects. And yes, the publication of the call will be in September of the terms of references. And then there is a question on the thematic test project. Is the expectations to test methodologies, governance approaches, and policy implementation models, or should the testing focus primarily on technical innovations? No, the test can be of a solution or a strategy, an action plan. So anything you have developed as the main output of the project, and the main output of the project are solutions, strategies, and action plans. So it doesn't have to be technical innovation. Are there any other specific requirements for the partnership, number of countries represented, specific competencies? This will be detailed in the table of references, but I can already say that in general, in all our thematic projects, we ask for a minimum of 5 countries represented in the 69 regions of the program. There is a question from Daniel Arturo on the possibility for institutional organization to make part of the project consortium, if not based in the project territory. So we can have partners outside of the Euromed territory, but within the European Union. For international organizations, they need to follow the national rules of the country where they are situated. You can have details on this in the partnership section of our program manual on the website. Then we have a question, I think, for green living areas. Judith, from Anto Bilic. So it's about climate change and making the ecosystem healthy as possible.
It can be read like that, but it's also about an approach. It's a bit short to really confirm, but it's also about an approach and about some focus. But indeed, the idea is to have an healthy environment.
Then there is a question on to clarify the type of innovation of the projects and the innovative character of their proposals. You can see details on the typology of projects on our program manual. We are not an Horizon Europe program. We are a territorial cooperation-based program. So the innovative character of the proposal should be based not only and not compulsory on technical innovation, but on innovative approaches or on solutions that have not been developed in such a way of transnational cooperation in the area, etc. So you have to demonstrate what is new in the approach of the project and why we need it for our transnational cooperation area.
Said, regarding the expected level of innovation, we don't use TRL, technological readiness level, but as it was said during the presentation of the general framework, we expect mature projects. So if we would use TRL, that would be the last one, the one that are close to the market. We don't fund research projects or tests in laboratory. We expect concrete contribution to the zero pollution action plan.
Then there is a question on to what extent does the program encourage proposals that capitalize on the results of previous indirect projects by testing and validating their methodologies in new implementation context? I think I answered already to this question. Yes, you can also use existing solutions developed in previous context and implement them in the Euromed context or on another topic, for example, or thematic, etc. Could you outline the eligibility criteria in terms of feasibility? Do you expect an existing Interreg pilot project to be at the base of this call? No, we don't expect an existing Interreg pilot project to be at the base of this call, but we expect to have a proof of the maturity of the project to be implemented and be feasible to be implemented in 2 years, meaning that, for example, you need to have clearly identified where the pilot activities will be implemented, what are the requirements about public procurements, a clear timetable for each partner on the public procurements they need to launch, the list of the equipment they will need, for example, to purchase, etc., etc., and the verification and that you can implement the pilot activity in the areas you have identified. There is a question from Nicola on the approximative number of projects to be approved by mission or specific objective. No, not yet. For the moment, it's about 10 projects in general, and it will depend on the score of the project. We will see if this changes in the terms of references to be approved. There is a question if big concrete manufacturers like Lafarge can be partner in a proposal scheme. In theory, yes, nothing big companies can be partner. They are eligible. Of course, it will depend on the objective of the project and the role of those partners in the project proposal. There is a question from Constantine Moraro on if there are any foreseen changes to the co-financing rate. No. No, this is not possible. It's by regulation. So the co-financing rate is 20%. In some countries, there is a national support for the co-financing rate, for the co-financing. So each partner should contact its national contact point to see whether there is such a support for them. Yeah, there is a question from Ilaria on what I said, that maybe some things could change between now and September. Those key features have been approved. So what we have presented here have been in principle approved by the monitoring committee. What could change between now and the terms of references is that maybe that we can be more specific in the terms of references regarding the thematic focuses, for example. So it can be maybe more narrowed, but the general concepts are here. There is a question from Vasilis from Rethymno. I cannot understand, sorry, the lab. I don't have it now. There was a lab produced. Local action plan. Okay, a local action plan. Can we apply in order to implement the actions of the local action plan? It's very difficult to answer to a question like that, quite general. If it's on the focus of this call, maybe, and depends really how you will propose it. So maybe yes, but only if it answers or contributes to the focus, to the thematic focus of and general expectation of this call. Then there is a question from Romina. Does the partnership have to be the same as in the test project that has already been developed, or can it change somewhat? Does the lead partner have to remain? I don't understand this question because it's not a transfer project or anything to do with something that has already been done. So it's a totally new project. So you are totally free to choose your partnership and your topic. Don't try to apply again for a proposal you had already developed before, because as you have seen, the thematic focus is different. Does the call fund also AI-based applications to precision medicine? No, I don't think so like that. It's really too specific on medicine for this territorial call. Then there is a question from Julia Mellis. Can you confirm if you expect one specific solution to be tested in the same context across different countries? And then working on how to embed the action into planning policies. Yeah, the objective of a territorial transnational project is indeed to test some solutions in various countries with the same. You can do different things, or you test different solutions in different countries, partners, or you test the same solution in different contexts. And then you try to develop a transnational solution that can be upscaled and that can be then embedded in regional, national, local policies. I have already answered to the question on the fixed number of projects that will be approved per mission. So no, for the moment, we don't have a number. This can be one of the things that will change with the TORS. Then there is a question about such platform. We have a forum on our website, so you can use the forum to search for partners. Then we have a question from Yoli Christopoulou. One, how is the territorial dimension defined if the focus is on marine biodiversity? And two, what is the expected level of commitment of competent authorities regarding the test results?
But regarding the first question, it depends on the action that you want to implement. Let's say that the call should be open for and focus on protected areas, but also outside protected areas. Anyway, the dimension depends on the action that you want to implement. For the second question, the level of commitment, of course, we expect competent authorities that are involved at the operational level.
Thank you. Then David asks if we will send a message with the date of the September informative online session. Yes, of course, we will inform through our website and our social medias about to confirm the date of the September informative session, and it will be written in the terms of references that will be published. Then there is a question from Vasiliki. If the project ends in the end of 2026, if it's okay to include the project outputs in the application. If you are going to use existing outputs from projects that are ending, and yes, you could, because when you will start the project, those projects will have ended. There is a question when the webpage of this call will be accessible once we will have the terms of references approved. But we will already publish this PowerPoint presentation and the recording of this meeting. Then we have a question from Christophe Schroeder on the mission natural heritage.
Yes.
It's mentioned to include concrete on-the-ground interventions leading to measurable ecological improvements. This is highly challenging in a 2 years project. Could the project build on already ongoing restoration work?
Sure. Yes, the idea behind is what is important. Of course, you can implement starting from an ongoing restoration work, demonstrating that is effective, of course. The idea behind is that if you implement actions here, you have really to demonstrate the scientific knowledge, so as solid as be based on really evidence-based approaches. And if you implement an action, you have to really have behind a clear methodology on how to monitor this type of action.
Thank you. Then there is a question from Raquel. If project addressing urban...
My question...
Sorry,
my question is
please.
not complete. It's related to summer energy poverty. I missed the word poverty, sorry.
Okay, yes. Okay, thank you. Energy is not tackled by this call, but if you want to complete, Judith.
Since there's a focus on social inequalities and health justice, if an issue is raised regarding the potential impact of
Energy
heat
poverty.
waves, energy poverty during the summer, this could be also a focus.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Then we have a question from Giorgio. What exactly is meant by an operational partner with the capacity to implement the pilot activities? Is a signed agreement required already at application stage, or is a letter of intent sufficient? So either the partner has the possibility, the direct competence to implement the pilot activity, or if not, it needs to have a signed agreement at the application stage. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay, then does the competent authority mentioned need to be a formal partner in the project from the outset, or its involvement in the design phase enough? I'm not sure about the question. Competent authorities should be included in the partnership, either as partners or associated partners. They can be also included as target groups. It depends on what we mean by competent authority. You have the competence to implement the project activities, and then you can have, for example, the political competency to upscale or to adopt the solutions developed. So for the second, it's not compulsory to have it in the direct partnership, but you need to have activities in the project that will support the adoption and engage stakeholders to adopt political stakeholders to adopt your solutions. For the first, of course, the partners should be the ones that are able and competent to implement the project. Okay, again, we have one question on transboundary marine projects. Are North African partners eligible or are they required to be associated partners? We cannot finance directly North African partners. So all partners from the southern shore of the Mediterranean can be associated partners, and co-financing partners can pay, for example, for their participation in some activities, some events, etc. There is a new question on the search of partners. We have a forum dedicated to partner networking on our website. Then there is a question from Philip, if there is a limitation on how many applications can one legal entity submit as coordinator. No, there is no limitation, but of course, the multi-participation will be assessed and verified with the national authorities in order to ensure that sufficient financial and administrative and human resources are in place in order to implement the projects if many of them are approved. Yes?
Sure.
There is no limit in applying for both calls 7 and 8. So just be careful again on your capacity to submit and then to approve the projects.
Please mute your microphones if you're not.
Yeah, please. Then there is a question from Vasiliki. Is FSTP scheme accepted in the budget? Please help me.
FSTP?
It is the financing to third parties, for example, artists, and having open calls for externals.
Yeah, you can have subcontracting, external expertise cost.
No, not subcontracting. With an open call, for example,
okay.
and have specific artists after an open call and evaluation process, etc. So, and if it is accepted or not, and if it is not okay, but if it is, how it is declared, because it's not under subcontracting. You don't know who will get the money exactly. You have an open call.
Okay, so like vouchers, for example,
exactly.
or
Yes.
things like that.
Yes.
It is possible to have some services paid for after an open call, for example, through vouchers or this kind of thing. This is somehow possible, but you have to be very careful on how to develop the call to be open, and of course we will analyze any state aid risk in that case. I don't know if colleagues want to complete.
No, maybe I don't really know the scheme, but it looks like it is a horizon mechanism. So that is not forcing as such into Interreg. So it's not possible to replicate, let's say, as it is this mechanism to Interreg projects.
Exactly. Then we have a question from Arapi. In case of results capitalization of other projects, should be the LP the same, or can another entity take over? It's a new project, so there is no rules on direct transfer, so it's a new project. Of course, so it's up to you to see how you will involve and how you need to involve the partners of the project you are capitalizing on. But again, it's a test project, it's not a transfer project. Then I'm checking the questions. No, we have more of networking. Okay. Okay, we have a question on health inequalities and social justice within the green living areas. A question from Francesca. Can we consider topics such as awareness and policy mainstreaming? We have extensive experience in making green transition fair and inclusive for all, leaving no one behind. So, Judith or Agathe, if you can answer to this question.
Maybe I can answer. And the question is broad, I think we can say yes, of course, especially regarding the policy mainstreaming, even though I don't know what exactly is behind in your mind. We do talk about resilient territories, territorial anchorage, and implementation by competent authorities. Awareness raising can be, of course, part of the project. I don't know what's exactly the publics you have in mind, but with 10 million euros project, 2 million euros projects for a total of 10. We don't expect only, of course, awareness raising projects. And remember, you have a test projects, which means also you have potential budget for equipment investment that can also support the implementation of concrete territorial solution.
Thank you.
And
then,
yes. Yeah, if I may, there was another question just a bit before about the academy. Francesca, if you want, I don't know if you want to complete the question to Judith first, and then I will go back to the academy question.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. The question was very brief written. The point is that the policy mainstreaming is making policies more inclusive. So taking into account that all measures and action in terms of transition might be inclusive, taking care of all those let's say fragile and vulnerable groups that normally are not considered when taking measures in this sense. So that was the idea, seeing health inequalities and social justice in this topic. It's quite interesting because reflect this concept of no one left behind. Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you. Yeah, broadening the approach and to this new topic is absolutely the expected also output of this course.
Thank you. So I will, yeah, please, it seems like there are microphones open, so please close.
Poslaću ti, znači ono za...
Yeah, I think, yeah, okay, thank you. It's been switched off. It's been muted. So there was a question by Migena. Could you please tell me more about the course, specifically how long does it last, who is it designed for, who participates, and where or how can we register or sign up? So the courses are dedicated to the Interreg Euromed Academy. So it's the platform is working, so courses can be elaborated on it, but it has not been publicly launched again. It will be launched by the end of September to the public, because we're waiting for having critical mass of contents on it. So there will be courses to follow on the platform by the end of September. There is no specific duration or target audience. It depends on the project. It depends on the solutions you will develop. However, if you go on the website of the program in the documents, there is a whole section about the academy, and all the documents and guidance for elaborating courses on the platform are present there. So I invite you to go to this to our website and check these documents. I will share the link in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you. Then there is, I think, again, a question for Judith. Can we consider citizen energy to be one of the focus areas of the 8th call?
Sorry, I didn't get the question. I
Yeah.
heard energy, I thought it was for me.
Can we consider citizen energy to be one of the focus areas of the 8th call?
Once again, I'm not sure. Citizen energy, I understand energy cooperative and production. No, it's not part of the current call. We are not talking about renewable energy production as such in this call. It's been well covered in call 2.
Excuse me, I have a question. Maybe I missed something. I do not understand if we have to continue an already developed project
No.
within the same program by the same team, or we can develop another project with another team. This is not clear for me.
Okay, sorry, because I think I have repeated myself quite a lot on that. It's a completely new project we are looking for. Complete new test projects.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very
And if
much.
you see, we have new topics that we have never tackled before in this program. So of course we cannot ask for already for a continuation of already approved projects in topics we have not yet tackled. So it's completely new project.
Okay. Thank you very much for the clarification.
You're welcome. Then there is a question on the TRL. Isabelle, if you want to answer.
Yes, we are looking into adoption from stakeholders, but this is a requirement for all the other missions also. And your question is, you put in bracket, even though this program is not requesting to be compliant with the EU TRL. This is not something that we use, but this was just to give you an indication, which is also consistent with the duration and the requested maturity and also the amount that will be allocated.
Okay, then there is thank you. There is a question from Luca. If creative and cultural industries can be considered as driver in local economy systems, and S3 on which of focusing on sustainable economy value chains. I don't think that those topics have been highlighted in the topics we will focus on this call. If colleagues have another opinion on that, but really I think that this is out of the scope of this call.
Yeah, yes, this is out of the scope, yeah.
Okay. If we can already share some more details about the application procedure, written application and representation, format, length of written application, similarity to current proposal templates. Okay. I cannot share a lot because we need to be sure that everything will be approved. But yes, it will be similar to the current proposal templates, but some of the questions will not be answered by written and will be answered during the oral presentation based on the PowerPoint template that we will provide to the project that will be preselected. So the basis is the same. And you can count on, yes, preparing yourself to answer to all of those questions, but just in a different way for some of the questions. Then I try to finish with the written questions, and then I will, or maybe I can give the floor directly. We have Yuri who asked for the floor.
Hello, hi, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, Yuri, please.
Hi, sorry, just a quick question because I'm just jumping in between different calls. So just to wrap up, this call is not funding anymore the countries from the African side of the Mediterranean, just funding the countries from the European side of the Mediterranean, just to clarify.
Yes, yes. The Inter-Euromed program is funding only the northern side of the Mediterranean, meaning the 14 countries from Portugal to Cyprus, passing from the Balkans. You can see our cooperation area in our program website.
Okay, so probably I've been a bit confused from the other one. It's called CBM, the one that used to be coordinated by Sardinia.
This is the other program, the NextMed program. Here you are at the Euromed program.
Okay, okay. Sorry in advance.
No, it's okay. It's
Thank
okay.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Many people get confused with the two programs. Don't worry.
I guess so. I'm one of them. Thanks a lot for your help.
Then we have a question from Marco. Will testing of an indicator that is monitoring restoration of degraded wetlands be eligible?
Yes, in the sense that if you're asking for the eligibility of this type of project, yes, could be eligible under the restoration topic, yes.
Yeah, there is a question again on the budget of the call. It's 20 million euros for the call with projects up to 2 million. Then what else do we have? Cool topic. We have a question from Andrea Rosso. Cool topic 2.7 well-being and health in living areas be addressed through a more specific application focus, such as active mobility and its health impacts?
I don't want to stop any good initiative as such, but no, I don't want to pre-assess in 2 lines. Be careful that the health approach doesn't become like an entry to work just on mobility. The relevancy cannot be, we know active mobility is good for the health, and so we only work on the active mobility. It's got to be a more comprehensive approach as a whole.
Yeah, there is a question to, can we show again the slide on the topics and missions relevant for this call? The slides with the different missions and specific objectives, maybe? If you can, colleagues, move the presentation to this slide. Then there is from Nicola a question about the indicators. If we will have a specific focus expectations on some indicators, outputs or results. No, it's the same like we have the classic ones, let's say. So solutions or strategies and action plans. On the specific objective 1.1, 2.6, and 2.7, as 2.4 is not open. Okay, then do we have another question? I'm looking quickly. Yeah, the last one. Would community-based WASH interventions, particularly WASH in health and restoration of essential water services, fit within mission green living areas under topic 2.7 on well-being and health? I don't know if you can answer, Judith, to this question for the moment.
No, could you please
Is the last one in the chat?
translate?
Yeah, the WASH interview. Jamal, could you please explain us what you mean?
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much for this presentation. I'm asking about the water and sanitation and hygiene. Is it eligible in this call? I hear that you are saying it's for Northern Mediterranean, but I'm particularly asking for Gaza. Gaza and West Bank in Palestine.
Okay, so in that case, you could be as associated partner in a call, benefiting from the project outcomes and participating in some of the activities that will be co-financed by the partners. So on water, sanity, and hygiene.
I guess it could be, yeah, depending on the actors.
Thank you. I don't think we have other questions. Would coastal and restoration activities okay, sorry. Coastal and restoration activities engaging or implemented by cities be eligible in the green living areas. Restoration activities will be natural heritage.
Yeah. Restoration activities are more linked to natural heritage mission. And we should open for restoration, open also for peri-urban and urban areas.
Exactly.
So it's more linked to natural heritage mission than green living areas.
And the last question, how many times can we apply as a partner? I answered already to this question. There is no limitation, but of course, for successful applicants, the multi-application will be assessed and verified by the national authorities in order to ensure the administrative, financial, and human resources capacity of the partner to implement multiple projects at the same time. And there is also a question if, I don't know why in the transcript, if organizations from from countries that are not in the cooperation area of the program can be eligible. If they are from the member states of the European Union, yes, they can be, but in that case, and that can be partners. and of course also associated partners, but also partners with funding. But we will have to ask for the national authority to accept this participation and to accept the fact that the country will have to ensure for the verification of the expenditure of the partner. Yeah. Okay, the questions on the budget and the partners have been answered by other participants. Thank you for the help, for the support. So this is it for the moment. I think I don't see other questions. Do you have any hand up? I haven't seen. Yuri has.
Hi.
Yes,
it's me. Migena from Cescot, Veneto, Italy. Please, could you explain better the compulsory activity, the training course?
Okay. The objective here is to develop a training module that will be published in the Euromed Academy.
So which moment we can start the training? It's open now or must wait?
During the implementation of the project, if the project is approved.
Okay. Understand. Good, thank you.
You're welcome. Coralia, please.
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you for the seminar. I'm from Corsica. I'm a project manager and proposal writer from Corsica, from France. I wanted to ask if this, because I was a bit late due to a previous meeting, if the presentation will be available somewhere. Will you send it to us?
Yes, it will be published on our website, the presentation and the recording of the meeting. So you will have also the opportunity to see everything from the beginning if you missed the beginning.
Okay, thank you very much.
Welcome. Yuri, do you have another question or it's still from Johan from the previous question? Okay, do we have other questions in the chat? Yeah.
Sorry, it was the previous question, I think.
Okay.
My last question was just related to the partnerships. So I will look into the webinar. Thanks a lot.
Don't worry. We are not going to include the Q&A provided today on the website in the facts section. It's not foreseen, but you will have the possibility to review the recording of this meeting. And yes, the recording will be published on the website in the call section, dedicated page and the event. So I think there is no other question. We are still 600 participants, so thank you. Thank you to all of you. Good luck. And of course, remain connected to our social medias and to our website for all new information. Bye-bye and have a nice summer break.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
You can move.